In this training, I'm going to share with you the 6 key habits that I created in my life that made me amazing with women by the age of 24. And I didn't grow up being good with women. I wasn't taught how to be good with women when I was a teenager or when I was in university. I had to learn all of this. I had to learn it by getting mentorship, by taking lots of action, and by having lots of trial and error. And in case you're on that same journey where you're not just a natural at attracting women, and it's actually something you have to learn and something you have to practice being good at and practice developing yourself in, this training is going to be really helpful for you because I'm going to give you the 6 habits that I created in myself that made this journey a lot easier and made me very good with women relatively quickly compared to a lot of people that started off learning, dating, and success with women at the same time as me. So the first habit that I created, habit number 1, is what we call confirmation bias. So there's this mistake that a lot of people make where they confirm the wrong things. Confirmation bias just means that the reality you want to be true, you look for that reality more. So as an example, in presidential elections, what a lot of people will do is if there's a presidential candidate that they don't like more, they'll always find things at fault with this candidate. It's very funny when I have friends or family who I know they leaned either to the right side of the political spectrum or the left side of the political spectrum. I can always say, tell me about this candidate, and they'll find everything wrong with that person, whereas the other side will find everything good with them. And it's vice versa, depending on the side of the spectrum that they're on, right? And it's the same thing in dating, but a lot of men make this mistake. They do the wrong thing. So because they want to believe that they're not attractive enough, and it's not like we consciously want to believe this as men, it's not like you want to believe you're not good enough, but this happens a lot of times as a byproduct of societal conditioning, of past negative experiences and things that have hurt you. So what happens is you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, so what do? You look for that feedback from women unconsciously. Sure, you know that there are some women that are attracted to, but you don't just go through the world assuming this girl likes me, that girl likes me, this girl likes me. Dating is really, really easy and I can attract who I want. But what I started to do, one of the habits I did, is I started to create confirmation bias. So I started looking for attraction from women and I started confirming that attraction to be real. So instead of me assuming people weren't into me, girls weren't into me, and I had to work hard to get the girl, instead I started to assume this girl just likes me, and instead I'm going to confirm that that is true as many times as I can. So after a while, it began to feel like every girl liked me. Now, is that the truth? Did every girl actually like me? No. Now, is that the truth? More so. I mean, every girl doesn't like me now, but generally when I talk to a girl, 70 to 80% of the time it's gonna work. She's gonna be attracted to me, and less percentage of the time something could happen there. I could set up a date or something like that if she doesn't have a boyfriend, or we connect well. So confirmation bias really worked out, and it was a habit that I practiced, just assuming that girl's into me, this girl's into me, that girl's into me, instead of assuming the negative, which is what I've seen a lot of my clients do and a lot of friends of mine that I know who are learning this, that they'll assume that the girl doesn't like them instead. The second habit that I did is creating a daily routine. Now, a daily routine does not mean I woke up and I started meditating, or I woke up and I had a specific workout routine. I probably should have done that, and I would have gotten better probably even faster and also made way more money in my businesses. But that's not the point. When it comes to dating, I had to create a daily routine. What I did was I made connecting with people part of my daily routine. This meant that if I rode in an Uber, this meant that if I went and got my laundry done, this meant that if I went grocery shopping, the people that were around me, I found a way to talk to some person, right? This could even be as simple as, how was your day? How do you feel today? And having an engaging conversation with someone where I get to connect with them and I know who they are as a person. The reason why this was so powerful is because I was no longer limited to the lens of pickup, because what a lot of guys will do is they'll say, if I'm going to get better with women, I need to make these spaces where I'm just trying to pick up women. So I'll go from a cold job where I'm sitting down typing all day, working on spreadsheets or working on information or contracts, and I'll go directly from that and I'll say, hey, I'm going to go out and socialize with a few women during the day, or maybe I'll go out at night with a few friends and I'll try to meet some girls, and I'm going to try to make it work, but you're stuck in your head. So what I begin to do is I begin to build my muscles of connecting, and this took away the pressure from pickup. So I wasn't limited to, hey, I'm going to go and pick up a girl. Like I have to go and get a girl. Instead, it was I just connect with people. So I'm always ready to connect with a person. Meeting a woman is a part of that connection as well, and that's something that I want to be really good at. So my daily routine became connecting with people. Number 3 is called quality over quantity, and this was a really powerful one. So instead of me focusing always on going out, I started focusing on the quality of the connection. And it's not just the quality of how hot the girls were, because at a certain point I was starting to mostly talk to girls that I was quite attracted to, but it was more so the quality of the interactions, because a lot of guys will make the mistake of, going out and trying to interact with as many women as possible without actually focusing on the quality of the interactions they have. So it's kind of like I'm just here to get an interaction in and to do the game without actually maximizing the quality of this interaction that I'm having and making sure that it's a good interaction that's going to go somewhere. Whereas when I work with clients, I try to take them out of this space and give them this new habit, which is how can I prioritize the quality of this interaction? Does this woman look like she's ready to meet someone? And if she is, how can I truly connect with her and take this as far as possible instead of me just getting one in because I should take a bunch of action and I should get an approach in because that's what I'm supposed to do to be an action taker. So I started focusing on quality over quantity, and when I made this shift, my interactions with women started going way further. So instead of me just interacting with a girl because it was good to do an approach and yay, I got it out the way and I handled my fears, instead it actually became, damn, that's an attractive woman, I want to go on a date with her, so I'm going up to interact with her with the purposes of going on a date. And this is a really, really powerful habit. If you're in your dating journey and you're trying to create more of these habits and try to get better with women and try to really create a dating lifestyle of abundance, the easiest way you can do that right now is by pressing the subscribe button, because you're literally opting in to get a free course. If you've seen the recent training I've been putting out of this channel, you know that it's fucking sick. Like, I'm putting course level value on this training, like things that you could actually pay for and find behind people's payment processors, other coaches and other consultants. So if you actually want to get this value for free, and if you want to learn rapidly here on YouTube and find some of the best dating information and content that you're going to find ever at all, because that is my goal, to make that kind of content and information, press the subscribe button. Pretty soon, actually, we're going to be giving out prizes to people who subscribe. Like, I'll give an example. I'm shooting lots of footage right now of me meeting girls in person, which is something I haven't done for a long time, and it's pretty crazy. So if you would like to get that footage, you have to be a subscriber, and we're going to personally send it to you. Things like that are going to be coming out in the channel. So subscribe if you want. If you find this valuable, subscribe, press the red button. It's going to help you grow and learn, and that'll help more people see these videos so more men can grow and create the kind of dating lives they want. Principle number 4 is storytelling. I became a storyteller. So a lot of times I would interact with people through information. I would say, this is how I'm feeling. This is the situation that is happening. This was my previous experience. Here are the facts. But what I did is I shifted from being someone who gave information into someone who was able to tell stories. Because when you tell stories, people buy into your reality more. And a lot of the men that I work with, we have to make this shift at the very beginning of our program. Instead of you starting off your interactions with women from a frame of information, right? Let's say that you're talking to a girl and she asks a simple question, how your day is going. You could say, my day was going good. I feel really good today. You could do that. Or you could talk about why you feel good and why your day is going good. You could say, what's funny? Earlier today, I went to go buy ice cream for my little cousin. We went out together, and it was pretty funny because seeing her and seeing how old she is now. I mean, she's young, right? She's 7, but seeing how old she's gotten since knowing her made me think, damn, life is moving fast, and I'm in a really good place in life right now, and I'm really happy of that. But being around my cousin reminded me of that, and it was a pretty funny experience being around her. She's hilarious. Right, there we go. I just told a little bit of a story. So now, instead of me just having a good day, now this woman knows a piece of me and who I am as a person and an individual. So now that information that I gave is not just information, but it comes with context, which means she's more likely to do what? Buy into that information and say, oh, this is a person that I can invest in. This is a person that makes sense to me because I know who he is. Storytelling is really powerful. So becoming a storyteller was another habit that I created. The 5th habit that I did is called class clown, and it should be called not being a class clown actually, but I wrote it down as class clown because that's the number 1 word that sticks in my head. Class clown basically is I stopped trying to be funny. So I was always the funny guy. I always was the guy who tried to use humor to attract women. And the truth is, if you are a funny person, that can be an asset sometimes. Women always say, I want a guy that's funny. Humor is the thing that I want to see in a guy. The truth is humor is a good asset to have, but it's not one of the fundamental markers of an attractive man. I know a lot of men that are funny and are not good with women, but I also know a lot of men that are not funny and are amazing with women, right? So if I had to pick and choose, do you want to be funny and attractive or very attractive but not so funny? I would pick the guy who's way more attractive and not so funny because that'll take you farther. So I don't know if that thing made sense that I said, but I know a lot of guys that can't get girls at all, but they're very funny. But I also know a lot of men that can get a lot of women and they're not funny at all. They're not traditionally funny. Women will laugh with these guys because there's tension, because there's sexual tension, and women will laugh to deflect sexual tension. But that was my problem. When I started my dating journey, going back to university when I was shit with girls, watch this story about my journey if you want for my whole breakdown and whole story of how I got into this. I put it on my channel a few weeks ago. But I literally went from being someone who was a class clown to being a guy who wasn't funny at all. Now, I am very funny, and all my friends laugh at what I say, and girls regularly laugh at the things I say. My girl loves all my jokes, and she laughs at everything I say, but I don't do that to get women. I am funny because that is how I see the world, and I'm very quick-witted and on my feet with how I speak, but I don't use humor as a tool anymore to meet women, whereas just a few years ago, actually, to be specific, 8 or 9 years ago, I used to use humor all the time, and that was how I tried to meet women, but I've since moved away from that, and since I've changed it, it's been very powerful for my dating life. So this was another habit that I stopped doing, actually. It's more so something that I stopped instead of something that I did do. I stopped trying to be funny, and instead I was grounded, I was present, I was serious, I built tension. And then the final habit that made me really good with women is what I call the planner. I started reconfirming plans with girls. So before, now this was funny because I was going out and approaching girls, and I was very good at talking to women. I was good at doing pickup. I was good at going out and approaching girls and making things happen, leading girls around, going on instant dates. But the biggest problem I had was I was getting canceled on all the time. So none of my numbers were solid. I would get a girl's number, I would set something up with her, and she just wouldn't respond, right? That's not fun. We don't want that to happen in dating. Like, you want to interact with women from a place where they want to see you again, where they're excited to see you and excited to spend time with you. So the shift I had to do was I had to start reconfirming plans, because for a very long time I would interact with women, and when things were funny, when the interaction felt good, I would say, give me your number, let's hang out. She would say yes, and what would happen? I would never fucking hear from her again. So the shift that I had to make was reconfirming plans and actually getting serious about going out. Once I started doing this and taking it very seriously and saying, I don't want your number unless we're actually going to see each other, that's when women started responding to me also way more seriously, and I cut the number of flakes and cancellations I was getting by more than half. And now actually I'm at the point where I don't get any flakes anymore. I figured this thing about reconfirming, I figured that out maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Now the way I set up dates with girls is even more intense and a little more serious than that, and now I get 0 flakes at all. So I want you to understand that these are the habits that help me get better with women. These are the habits that helped me become very good with women by the time I was age 24. At age 24, I had a few girls that I was dating. I started traveling around the world. I had a couple really attractive girlfriends that I was seeing, and things were pretty good. Things were amazing. And then I eventually found an amazing partner, and we're building a life together, and we even meet girls together as well. And you know, when I travel, when I run programs, I have this freedom to meet women, which is amazing because of these skills that I've built. So if you want to use these and you want to add them into your life, just take note of this video and start applying these things, and you'll actually be able to grow. And if I want to say this as well, if you ever want to get better at this really fast and you have the capability to, like, you can actually afford to invest in yourself, one of the best things you could do is hire me to be your consultant to join you in this journey. And what happens when you're my client, we work together for a year in a very intense capacity where I become your partner and I build a dating life with you. So I give you all of the tools and assets and resources you need with my guidance and me plugging them into your life, literally for you, literally with you, so you can create the kind of dating life that you really want. So if you want this to happen way faster and you think you're ready to see a couple of amazing girls, you're ready to start attracting amazing women into your life, if that's something that you really want and you also are able to invest in it, because again, if you can't spend money to invest, this is not for you, but I'm not cheap to work with. But if you really are able to afford an investment to get these kind of results in your life and it's something you're ready to do, there's no better place you're honestly going to find this intense level of consulting and this logical like Asperger's autistic level of consulting than having me be your consultant and joining my consulting program. So that's available as well. Look down below. The links are there. There's a cool little training you can check out where I break down my system and how I get actually my clients' results and what the system looks like. Check that out. Or if you know my stuff already and you have enough faith in me and you just want to book a call and see what it's about, and we'll see if you're a good fit for our consulting program, which lasts for 1 year. You can see results within 90 days generally. So if you think that's a good fit for you, just book a call or watch that training, and then it'll take you to a page where you can look at the video, and then you can click a link to book a call on my calendar, and we'll do an interview and see if we're both a good fit for each other. And hey, if not, no worries, keep watching these videos. But if so, it would be great to work with you. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed and have an amazing, amazing day, my friend.